Welcome to Caching Waves. Today we're looking at HBAR Hedera Hashgraph on the Binance exchange, and if you want to follow along with my chart, I'm UTC -4 for my time zone. First of all, I want to take a minute and look back in time here. I know there's a little more candles available on other exchanges where we started up here and sold off, but this is basically the low on most exchanges here. And I've been thinking of every available option for here, what this is. And I have a couple different ideas. This could clearly be an A wave or a one wave. And then a lot of people have this as 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete our impulse. But I have a couple problems with that. This doesn't really fit a triangle that well, because we didn't get a lot of spikes, even though we do have 3-wave patterns. It doesn't really fit a triangle that well. If we don't have a triangle, then what do we have, right? We have a 3-wave move down. This could be a WXY in this area, which potentially means we have a complex wave here. And if that's the case, what's going on here, right? It looks like a 3-wave pattern as well to me as well here. So it could be a leading diagonal where we don't have overlap, but I don't like that either. Again, it doesn't really fit any mold that great. And currently I think the best view of it is actually the top ending here, where we have an ABC up or a WXY up, and we're still working on our larger expanded flat. It can also be a WXY where we have a 333 and we're done here last December. That's our low. That's our completed low. We're not going any lower, but we have to be aware that we could get 5 waves down. And one thing that leads me to believe that is if we just go with our 5 waves down, this would be a leading diagonal. Ignore the WXY currently. This would be a leading diagonal. We have our 1, 2, 3 down to the low. As you can see, we hit right at the 176, just past the 1618, which looks good as a 3rd wave, in which case we have 3 waves up for an ABC up. This does not appear to be moving down currently, so I'd expect another wave up for a WXY potentially up to this area. And if you look on log scale, that hits us around 10 cents at the 382, and that's also right at the 1-to-1 extension of our A to either our WXY or ABC, where we get a 5 wave here in the C, before potentially making new lows to actually complete an expanded flat. So something to be aware of. But even though we have all these options, there's still a lot of trade options available. So let's just leave that C wave in the expanded flat as one of our options, and let's zoom into what we have off the low. I have seen some people count this as a 5 wave. I prefer a 3 wave just because of the size of the correction here. And we A to C is actually 0.618 extension off the B, so it does meet the requirements to be a 3 wave. We then have a complex correction down, which I have as a WXY. And currently I have a leading diagonal as our A wave or 1 wave. If this is a flat, we'd expect 5 waves up. If it's a double 3, we'd be expecting a WXY at the 1-to-1. So as you can see, if this is the 4th wave or 4th wave, we'd expect rejection there for new lows. And if this is a leading diagonal, which is my primary count right now, we would expect zigzag patterns up. ABC, ABC, ABC to the fifth. And on linear scale, we're targeting around 14 cents for that wave 1 to complete. And on log, it's pretty much the same thing. And this is the big area we need to be aware of. This is where the potential fourth wave to the more downside is. This is also the area where we could just get a complex correction where we get a ABC up followed by an ABC back and another ABC up. So you can see in that area we have 2 out of 3 trades reversing, and even if we have the leading diagonal, we have at least somewhat of a retracement coming. So I would suggest taking profit at that 1-to-1 no matter what you think is happening in the market here. Let me just get rid of some of those, go back to our primary, and we want to pick the scale where our target is closer, and that is the 1-to-1 at about 10 cents. Now going even closer, if you watch earlier in the week, I had this as a leading diagonal. We've got our 5 waves up. I was keeping an eye on this area for a reversal because this is the 1-to-1 of wave 3, where if we went above that, that would have invalidated the leading diagonal. Now, currently, if you watch my video earlier in the week, pretty much pegged that spot. I'm not currently short in it, but I'm waiting for a little bit of relief on this wave before we can start our B. And I will take a short once we get the setup. Wherever this A wave ends, it could be a little higher, could be a little lower. We'll see what happens. We could go all the way to 786. We could get a very light retracement and just come to the 382. We really don't know what we're going to get until we get that pivot. And until we get that pivot, what I will be doing is looking for the 382 of when this wave completes. As you know, I can't really measure at the moment where does the wave end. I'll start taking entries at the 382 and between the 382 and the 618, and I will have our stop at the wave 5 high. And at that point, once we start to get our second pivot, that's when we'll be able to get our targets, and we'll be targeting the 1-to-1 for our C wave. So kind of just waiting for that to come to fruition to see what we'll be targeting. But it should be a nice little scalp, a week or two long, and you know, we can get a 15-20% move, so pretty nice with some leverage. Again, just what I'm doing. I don't suggest you do any of these things. Know your risk. This is just what I am doing. So I hope you guys like the update. Please subscribe, and I will update you with once these pivots come in. Thanks for watching, guys.